This was me at the beginning of 2022. And this is me at the end of 2022. This year, I have achieved my dream physique, grew my social medias to almost 200,000 followers, made so many connections that I am so grateful to have, met my girlfriend, which is somebody I've been literally asking for, and I've achieved like a mindset and the confidence and the peace I have very much needed in my life. Hi, my name is Ryan Johnson, and if you don't know me, feel free to check out my social media so you get to know a little bit more about me. But if you do know about me, well, let's get right into the video. 2022 has been such a foundational year for me. I feel like I have been laying the bricks to a skyscraper I'm about to build. But what did I learn from all of this growth this year? And how can you use this information to achieve massive growth in 2023? In order for us to understand what changed my life in 2022, we should start from the beginning. At the beginning of the year, I had a breakup with a girl that made me realize that I'm not shit. And I took this feeling personal, so I decided to embark on a journey towards becoming somebody. This desire in me to now become somebody, fueled by the anger from that breakup, drove me to find self-improvement and apply it to my life. I began to live a very strict, disciplined type of lifestyle. But this type of lifestyle caused me to not waste a second of my time. I started to appreciate my time so much because I realized what I could do with it. And now that I look back on that period of time, I realized that I grew more in those 6 months of disciplinary work and schedule than I have grown in just the past 3 years. I like to think that it shifted my thinking into a higher vibration. Instead of just always thinking about, okay, what am I doing this weekend? Are my boys happen on the game tonight? Why is this chick not texting me back? I started to think about other things. I was always thinking about how can I become the most alpha male possible. No, it wasn't that extreme. But I really started to feel confident in myself and my future. And that was because I was always focused on it. I was always thinking about it. I was always asking myself, how can I improve? But for real, ladies and gentlemen, I really started to feel a lot more confident in myself and in my future because of this. It felt like the way my thinking was going, that no matter what happened, I would be somewhere's good. I just felt that type of way. So after getting that self-improvement ball rolling at the beginning of the year, I started to make peace with a lot of stuff in my past. I started to focus more on the future and forget the circumstances that I went through or I am currently in. And this allowed me to start evolving a lot quicker. I had no boundaries and nothing was holding me back. The whole reason I was able to get rid of that old identity is because I set my focus on my future. I read this book called The Power of Now, and I realized that the only moment I can ever control is this moment now. If I want to change my future, the only way to change that is to affect this moment now. So I gotta stop thinking about the past. Yeah, whatever that chick did to me or whatever I went through, that doesn't matter. I gotta forget about that. That's not me. What is me is this moment now, where I am going. And that's the mindset I kind of adopted and really helped me start evolving a lot quicker, like I said. So a lot of healing started to happen to me when I started to put myself outside of my comfort zone. And I think that came from, I had to challenge my beliefs and my thoughts about myself from putting myself outside of my comfort zone. Because I had to do new and challenging things, because I operated totally different than I ever had in my life, my brain was just operating such a different way, and it created a new self-identity. An identity that wasn't filled full of garbage from my past. And I can also thank the crappy relationship I had at the beginning of the year, because the biggest lesson I learned from that one, and ladies and gentlemen, please always learn a lesson from your relationship. Even if you did nothing wrong, there's still a lesson to learn. But the biggest lesson I learned was to stop carrying the trash of my past around with me. I'm constantly evolving. If you're thinking about your past, if you're carrying the trash of your past with you, you are devolving. You're saying the same. So I want to touch on comfort zone a little because it's talked about a lot, but I want to kind of give my opinion on it. So comfort zone is not just about physically getting outside of your comfort zone, but it's also mentally getting outside of your comfort zone. Now, What does that mean? This can mean challenging your beliefs, going into dark places of your mind, making your mind just figure something out. Like for example, I challenged a lot of my beliefs about the way life works, or spiritual beliefs. And going into dark places, when I was at the gym, I constantly was trying to put myself kind of in these dark places, which might sound scary, but it's okay to do, to lift like heavy weight or to go extra reps. And that was because I really wanted to achieve this one goal, so I had to put myself in those places. And also the same goes for figuring stuff out. I made myself figure stuff out. Like I said, I gained 150,000 followers on TikTok in 7 months, and the way I did that was I would just sit here at the desk and make myself figure out content, figure out where I'm going wrong or what's going right. How can I do 20,000 followers this month? Because last month I did 10, so how can I double that? That's what I kind of forced myself to figure out. And remember, a lot of days I did not feel like doing a lot of stuff. I didn't feel like going to the gym. I didn't feel like figuring out 6 different TikToks to post and all of the stuff. But I sat here and forced myself to do it. Even if it didn't feel great, even if it wasn't the most exceptional work I have put out, I still did it. And because of that, it inevitably led to me having better problem-solving skills. Because I forced myself to sit here and figure something out, I became way better at solving a lot of problems in my life. So listen up here, ladies and gentlemen, because this is very important. Because I forced myself to do these things, I gained better problem-solving skills, and I was able to solve more problems in my life. One big problem I was constantly facing was fear. Fear of failure, fear of criticism, fear of whatever it may be. But I realized fear was controlling me. It would often distract me from doing something. It would often cause me to procrastinate or ignore something that needed attention. And I remember going into these dark places of my mind, challenging my beliefs, and facing fear in its eyes and saying, "You will not control me." And this has allowed my mind to break free from so much. And that's why I asked you to pay attention to this part as best as you can. If you do not break the fear you have inside of you, whatever that fear may be, however strong it may be, if you do not break that, then you will be enslaved to that. You will not do the things you want to do. You will not become the person you want to become. You will never develop the mindset you want to develop because you are fearful of certain things. Now, this last point I want to share with you guys is the point that solidified everything for me this year. Made me realize that when you put in the work, you are going to get the output you want. If you think positive thoughts and you do positive actions, you are going to get positive outcomes. It is impossible for you to think good and do good stuff and not get the get the outcome you want. And I really realized that this year. So I'm gonna share with you guys 2 things that have happened to me this year that have concreted in my mind that if you put in the work every single day, if you grow just a little every single day, if you have those positive thoughts every single day, you are going to get the outcome no matter what. And this is the reason I'm going into 2023 with so much confidence. And I really want you to pay attention just one more time here, because if you can truly feel me out here and understand me, you are also going to head into this year and start this year with so much confidence, because I'm living proof that like I said, if you get up every single day and do the stuff you need to do, you are going to get that outcome. Even when you feel like giving up, even if you feel like it's unattainable, you're going to get it. So let me share with you those 2 things. First, I met somebody this year, and he actually reached out to me out of just nowhere. I met somebody this year that gave me the opportunity to fly out to Alpha Land and meet a bunch of people for practically next to nothing. I paid $300 basically for the whole trip. Now, the reason this was so important to me was because for a long time I kept asking, okay, when is the day gonna hit? When am I gonna get my money? When am I gonna get what I've been working for? And that day really hasn't come. But now that I look back on 2022, I realized that that day had come. It did come. And that was when I met the person that gave me so many connections in the fitness industry and also helped me come out to Alpha Land, which is one of my places on my bucket list. I wanted to go there so bad, and I kept having these thoughts that I just want to make it there. And he helped me make it there. And that allowed me to realize that your gifts will come. What you deserve will come, but it might not always come in the way you think it will come. And number 2 is I met my girlfriend, Sarah. She is the girl I have literally envisioned myself having. I didn't quite visualize who I wanted her to look like, but I thought about the type of person I wanted, and she's just the exact person I wanted. She has enriched my life so much, and I feel as though the only reason I had connected with her is because I started to enrich my life at the beginning of the year. I took the necessary steps day in and day out to increase my value as a man, and that ultimately led me to finding her and connecting with her. And that once again solidified in my head that, wow, if I put in the work every day, if I take the necessary steps, if I envision this stuff, if I do all of this stuff, I am going to get that outcome. And so will you. So I really want you to understand, you can achieve whatever you want this year. If it's that body, if it's a certain amount of money each month, if it's a place you want to live, if it's the mindset you want to have, if it's confidence you don't have, whatever it is you want to accomplish, obtain, and have, you can get that. You just gotta go get it. So I just want to give a quick thank you to God for blessing me this year with everything. I felt many times throughout the year that I was never going to get anywhere, that all this work I was putting in was for nothing, but now that I look back at it, I was blessed in many ways that I didn't think I would be blessed. I always thought it would be monetary, I always thought it would be with watches and cars, but I realized it comes in much richer ways. But that was just personally for me the way it came. So now that the video is coming to an end, I have to ask one thing from you. Please leave a comment below one thing that you have learned this year, even if it's to not touch a hot stove. Share with me down below so that we can add just that much more value to this video. And if you like this video, if you got some value from it and you appreciate it, please leave a comment. And if you aren't already subscribed, what are you doing, bro? Go subscribe, bro. What? Come on, right down there. Go subscribe, bro. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. I love you. Again, socials are down there. If you don't follow me on all of them, go do it or whatever. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out. Mwah.